The year 378 AD marked a catastrophic turning point for the Roman Empire. The Battle of Adrianople, fought on August 9th, would forever be etched into the annals of military history as a profound disaster. For decades, the Roman Empire had grappled with the increasing pressure of barbarian tribes along its vast borders. The Goths, a Germanic people, had been a persistent presence, sometimes allies, often adversaries. Their relationship with Rome was complex and ever-shifting. In the preceding years, a new and terrifying threat had emerged from the east: the Huns. These nomadic warriors, renowned for their ferocity and equestrian skill, swept across the Eurasian steppes. Their westward migration displaced numerous tribes, creating a domino effect of migrations. Among those most severely impacted were the Goths, specifically the Thervingi. Faced with the existential threat of the Huns, the Thervingi sought refuge within the Roman Empire. They appealed to Emperor Valens, who ruled the Eastern Roman Empire from Constantinople. Valens, eager to bolster his army and perhaps to gain new taxpayers, granted their request. He allowed a large contingent of Goths to cross the Danube River into Roman territory. This decision, seemingly pragmatic at the time, would prove to be fraught with peril. The Goths were promised land and provisions in exchange for military service. However, the Roman officials tasked with their resettlement proved to be corrupt and exploitative. They extorted the Goths, selling them meager rations at exorbitant prices. Many Goths were forced to sell their children into slavery just to survive. This egregious mistreatment quickly sowed seeds of resentment and rebellion. The Goths, already a proud and warlike people, grew increasingly desperate and angry. Their leaders, Fritigern and Alavivus, found their pleas for justice ignored. Soon, scattered acts of defiance escalated into open revolt. The Goths began to plunder the Roman countryside, seeking the sustenance and dignity that had been denied to them. Valens, initially dismissive of the growing unrest, was forced to acknowledge the severity of the situation. He dispatched troops to quell the uprising, but these efforts were largely unsuccessful. The Goths, now united by their shared grievances, proved to be a formidable foe. They were not merely a disorganized rabble, but a cohesive fighting force. Valens, then campaigning against the Sasanian Empire in the east, was compelled to return to Europe. He sought to decisively crush the Gothic rebellion. His nephew, Gratian, the Western Roman Emperor, was also marching with his own forces to assist. However, Valens, perhaps driven by a desire for sole glory, decided not to wait for Gratian's arrival. This decision would prove to be a fatal error in judgment. On August 9th, 378 AD, Valens led his army out from Adrianople. The city, now Edirne in modern-day Turkey, was a strategic stronghold. The Roman army was a diverse force, comprising legions, auxiliaries, and various allied contingents. Their numbers were estimated to be between 15,000 and 30,000 men. The Goths, under Fritigern, had established a fortified wagon lager a few miles north of the city. This defensive position provided them with a strong base of operations. The day was hot and dusty, a sweltering summer day in Thrace. Roman march was arduous, covering several miles under the scorching sun. Many soldiers were already exhausted before the battle even began. As the Romans approached the Gothic camp, they observed the enemy's dispositions. Fritigern, a cunning and experienced commander, had deployed his infantry behind the wagons. His cavalry, however, was conspicuously absent. This absence would play a crucial role in the unfolding tragedy. Valens, confident in his numerical superiority and the discipline of his legions, ordered an immediate attack. Some of his commanders urged caution, suggesting a delay until Gratian's forces could arrive. Others advised waiting for the Roman cavalry, which had been sent on a reconnaissance mission. Valens, however, was resolute. He believed the Goths were vulnerable, and that a swift victory was within his grasp. Roman battle lines were formed, a formidable array of shields and spears. The Roman left wing, composed primarily of cavalry, advanced first. They engaged the Gothic outposts, initiating the battle. However, the main body of the Roman army was still struggling to form up. Communication was poor, and coordination was lacking. Suddenly, the long-awaited Gothic cavalry appeared on the horizon. They had been foraging for supplies and were now returning to the camp. Their unexpected arrival caught the Romans completely by surprise. The Gothic cavalry, fresh and eager for battle, charged into the exposed Roman left flank. The Roman cavalry, already engaged and disorganized, was quickly overwhelmed. They broke and fled, leaving the Roman infantry exposed. This was the turning point of the battle. The Roman infantry, now vulnerable on its left, found itself encircled. The Gothic infantry surged forward from behind their wagons, pressing the attack. The Roman legions, once the epitome of military might, were now trapped in a desperate struggle. The close-quarters combat was brutal and chaotic. Roman soldiers, weighed down by their armor, struggled in the heat and dust. Their formations disintegrated under the relentless Gothic assault. Arrows and javelins rained down upon them. The Goths, fighting with a ferocity born of desperation and vengeance, showed no quarter. Valens, attempting to rally his troops, found himself in the thick of the fighting. His personal guard fought valiantly, but the tide of battle had turned irrevocably. The Roman center collapsed, and a general rout ensued. Thousands of Roman soldiers were cut down as they tried to flee. The slaughter was immense. The battlefield became a gruesome tableau of death and despair. Emperor Valens himself perished in the melee. The exact circumstances of his death remain a subject of historical debate. Some accounts suggest he was struck down by an arrow. Others claim he was wounded and sought refuge in a small hut, which was then set ablaze by the Goths. Regardless of the precise details, his death was a profound shock to the Roman world. It was a loss of imperial prestige unprecedented since the Battle of Cannae. The defeat at Adrianople was not merely a tactical loss. It was a strategic catastrophe. A significant portion of the Eastern Roman army, including many experienced commanders and elite units, was annihilated. The Goths, emboldened by their victory, were now free to roam and plunder the Roman provinces. Thrace, Dacia, and even parts of Greece were laid waste. The Roman Empire, already facing numerous challenges, was severely weakened. The battle exposed critical flaws in Roman military strategy and leadership. Valens's impetuosity and his failure to coordinate with Gratian were major contributing factors. The reliance on a large, undisciplined Gothic population within Roman borders also proved to be a dangerous gamble. Adrianople marked a shift in the balance of power. It demonstrated that barbarian forces could not only defeat but utterly destroy a Roman field army. The long-term consequences were profound. The Roman Empire struggled to recover from the loss of manpower and prestige. It was forced to adopt new military policies, including a greater reliance on barbarian federates. The battle is often cited by historians as a pivotal moment, signaling the beginning of the end for the Western Roman Empire. It shattered the myth of Roman invincibility. The Goths, once refugees, had become conquerors. Their victory at Adrianople reverberated throughout the ancient world, a stark warning of the empire's vulnerability. The Roman world would never be the same after that fateful day in 378 AD. The memory of Adrianople haunted Roman emperors for generations. It served as a grim reminder of the cost of underestimating one's enemies. The empire's borders became increasingly porous. The Goths continued to be a major force in the region. Their presence fundamentally altered the demographic and political landscape. The battle underscored the growing internal weaknesses of the Roman state. Corruption and mismanagement had played a significant role in provoking the Gothic revolt. The Roman military, despite its past glories, was shown to be fallible. The loss of so many experienced soldiers was irreplaceable. Empire's ability to project power was severely diminished. The Goths, under Fritigern, had achieved an astonishing victory. This victory inspired other barbarian groups. The Roman Empire faced a new era of instability. The battle's impact was felt for centuries. It contributed to the eventual collapse of the Western Roman Empire. The Eastern Empire, though it survived, was also deeply affected. Adrianople was a watershed moment. It symbolized the decline of Roman military dominance. The Goths had proven their strength. The Roman response was slow and ineffective. Empire's resources were stretched thin. The battle was a testament to Gothic resilience. It was a dark day for Rome. The empire's future looked bleak. The Goths had secured their place in history. The battle changed everything. It was a disaster of epic proportions. The Roman Empire was never truly the same. The Goths had won a decisive victory. The consequences were far-reaching. The battle remains a subject of intense study. It offers valuable lessons in military strategy. The Roman Empire's vulnerability was laid bare. The Goths had achieved the unthinkable. Their triumph reshaped the ancient world. The battle's legacy endures. It is a story of imperial overconfidence. It is a story of barbarian triumph. The Battle of Adrianople was a turning point. It marked the beginning of a new era. The Roman Empire faced an uncertain future. The Goths had made their mark. The battle was a testament to their fighting spirit. It was a moment of profound change. The Roman Empire's decline accelerated. Goths had proven their might. The battle was a stark reminder. The Empire's power was waning. The Goths had achieved a legendary victory. The battle's echoes resonated for centuries. It was a defining moment in history. The Roman Empire's fate was sealed. The Goths had emerged victorious. The battle was a symbol of their strength. It was a day of reckoning for Rome. The Empire's glory began to fade. The Goths had secured their freedom. The battle was a testament to their determination. It was a pivotal event. The Roman Empire's decline was undeniable. The Goths had triumphed against all odds. The battle was a monumental defeat. It reshaped the course of history. The Roman Empire's vulnerability was exposed. The Goths had achieved a legendary feat. The battle's impact was immense. It was a turning point for the empire. The Roman Empire faced a new reality. Goths had asserted their dominance. The battle was a symbol of their power. It was a day of infamy for Rome. The empire's decline was irreversible. The Goths had secured their place in the world. The battle was a testament to their courage. It was a moment of profound historical significance. The Roman Empire's fate was altered forever. The Goths had achieved an unforgettable victory. Battle was a devastating blow. It marked the end of an era. The Roman Empire's military might was broken. The Goths had proven their superiority. The battle was a stark and brutal lesson. It was a day that changed the world. The Roman Empire's future was uncertain. The Goths had emerged as a dominant force. The battle was a symbol of their ascendancy. It was a day of immense loss for Rome. The empire's decline was now undeniable. The Goths had secured their legacy. The battle was a testament to their strategic brilliance. It was a pivotal moment in the history of the Roman Empire. The Goths had achieved a victory that would resonate for centuries. The Battle of Adrianople was a true disaster for Rome.